Welcome back, guys, with another episode of Deep Talk Proletarian. Today, retrospective. Still Deep Talk reviews. I'm still reviewing stuff, but it's a more special episode. It's an even more special episode, you know. Even though every episode is special, this one is more special. So today we're talking about the Plants vs Zombies Garden Warfare series, which many of you might not know. It's a third-person shooter series with multiplayer and stuff and blah blah blah. And it originated, it came after the Plants vs Zombies mobile games, which, let me tell you, are boring as hell to play. Jesus Christ. Some people really love these games, but for me they're just really boring. Just like really boring. Everything you do is just plan shit and just watch it fucking kill each other. It's boring. It's disgustingly distasteful, boring shit. But the Garden Warfare series, now that one's interesting. You've got classes and different characters and exciting trailers and shooting and multiplayer and angry kids and lobbies, and it's an amazing series. So it's got 3 games that I'm going to cover today. We're going to cover Garden Warfare 1, Garden Warfare 2, and the newest installment, Battle for Neighborville, which came out very recently, which is not that recently, but it came out recently for Switch, so I'm still very much up to date with my news. So to get to the point, let's start with the first game in the series, shall we? So the first game came out in 2014. I played it on my Xbox One, which is of course the best platform to play it on. And the game features 8 classes, 2 of which are the Foot Soldier and the Pea Shooter classes, which are, mostly considered the best ones, considering they have the best abilities and are the most versatile on the battlefield. Then we also have the Sunflower and the Scientist, which are both the healers. Then we've got the kind of support characters, which are the Engineer and kind of the Chomper, even though the Chomper could be more considered towards the all-star category. The Chomper is definitely a dick class to play. If you play the Chomper, honestly, fuck you. Like, in every installment of this game, fuck you. So let's not dwell on that. Then there's still the All-Star, who's also a zombie class, and at last we have the Cactus, which sucks ass, and I've never understood why anybody would actually play this bloody awful class. Now, you had some kind of different modes and stuff, and also microtransactions. They later brought that one in. That was a bit off, but each character has 3 different abilities which they can use. For example, the Pea Shooter has the Bean Bomb, the Chili Bean Bomb, which is basically just an overcompensating grenade, and it's pretty good still, even after 3 games of ruining it, it's still pretty good. You could also play versus bots and other kind of enemies, and to be fair, even though it's like the groundstone of the franchise, for me it's still like the least interesting game because it has no overworld. The modes are very boring, kinda. It had some fun, interesting ideas like the bosses and stuff, and the different kind of experiences and stuff you do in multiplayer, and it's all very much basic. You know, it's a very basic game to play. It's interesting and it has some good concept, but it's basically just like the founding stuff. You know, it's not supposed to be groundbreaking because the groundbreaking shit comes later on. Many people would say that it's better than the third one, which I would contest, maybe because I haven't played the third one as much. Maybe it's not getting on my tits as much as the other 2, but I would honestly go out of there and say that the first one is probably the weakest bunch of the series, but it's still good. Just not very exciting. And if you would honestly take any other game of the series, then I would honestly start with the second one, which is what we're going to talk about now. So now we're coming to probably the best game in the series. Like, this isn't very exciting. Of course, you only have 3 games, and one of the 3 must obviously be the best one. So what makes Garden Warfare 2 the best game in the series? Well, first of all, the updates they did to, the first game's problems. With the first game, it was a very basic game, and it was mostly very much focused on the plans. You can only play the plan side, for example, in these bots modes and stuff. And it was all just, it didn't have enough classes to like kind of mix it out a bit and stuff. It was all very basic and entertaining, but basic and simple. Now, the second game adds a whole bunch of different classes, which are amazing. For example, we've got the Citron class, you've got the Captain Deadbeard, you've got Super Brains, the Imp, all of these classic characters now that have become a staple of the series and even the marketing and stuff. And they've all become now kind of these amazing characters, which are amazing. You know, I'm repeating myself, but it's definitely an improvement over the first game with its bare minimum of classes to make it different. Now it also added new modes, for example graveyard ops, where you could play for the zombies and stuff, and you know, a zombie versus bot stuff. You know, it's more focused on evening the playing field. First game very much plan focused, second game is very much a bit more open in its style and stuff. Then there's also a new mode called Gardens and Graveyards, where even zombies can now defend bases and prevent the plants from capturing them. Again, evening the playing field. And the best part, it has split screen. Nowadays, companies are very much focused on fucking over split screen players, like very much. Like they just have a sort of vendetta against these players, even though it's just a normal way to play a game with a good friend of yours, you know, hop onto the couch, crack open a few cold ones, and just play some bloody split screen, you know, just have some fun next to each other. But no, nowadays you need to take your whole bloody fucking console over to them, stick it into the 15 different cable boxes, and then you can only play with them online after you pay $10.99 for the bloody monthly subscription service. Thanks a lot, guys. You fucking killed split screen. But that's a different rant. Well, to be fair, this game's awesome, and it's still very much like. There's a video that I've recently seen, I don't remember which channel it was, I definitely will put in the description or something, or in the info box and stuff, but there are still new players coming to Garden Warfare 2 because it's such a fucking amazing game. And there's an overworld now, which the first game didn't have either. The first game just had a boring ass menu, like nobody wants to look at menus, you know, menus are boring. But the second game added a bloody overworld where you could do missions and characters and talk to people and have lots of different shit to do and stuff, and oh, amazing. Like for the first time that I was in there, I was mind blown. It was amazing game, amazing. If I had to give like a shout out, just buy this game now, even though I don't want you to give EA money, so this might be a bit of a problem. So let's go over to Battlefield Neighborville, shall we? So, Battlefield Neighborville. Now we come to the big controversial one, the one that everyone seems to dislike. Let me tell you, for starters, Battlefield Neighborville is a fine game. It's an entertaining game that you can play for a few rounds, have a bit of fun, you know, try out some of the new classes and stuff, try out some of the modes. It's generally worse than the second one, which is really shocking because I kind of expected the third one to be big and stuff, but when I bought it lately, I was just kind of surprised by how bloody empty it was, you know? You still have the overworld, which is barren. You still have some of the missions you can do in some side worlds, but it's boring. You still have some of the modes, but most of them you can't even play because you have to wait till they're fucking available weekly. Like, what of a dumb system is that, to have modes available only a limited amount of time and then they just are gone? That's just stupid. Who the fuck does that? But let's maybe talk about the new characters. Okay, so we've got Acorn and Oak, which is basically just a little guy can turn into a big guy. Big guy's pretty good. Little guy kind of sucks ass. It is okay character. It's pretty okay. Wildflower, never played that one. Looks bloody boring. There's the Snapdragon, which is pretty cool, you know, with the fire and stuff. But honestly, you could play the Chomper. It's probably more effective, even though it doesn't look as cool. There's the Nightcap, which can suck my dick because it's everybody who plays Nightcap just I don't know, just go away. Then there's the zombies. We've got Electric Slide, which is a pretty awesome character, one of the best ones I would say of the new ones. Then there's the Space Cadet, which is okay, but it's very newbie to play. You can very much easily get killed with this character, so I don't know why you would ever play it. It's just for the pure boredom of just killing children in a video game. And then we have the TV Head, which I didn't play, the Wizard, which I didn't play, so I can't really comment on that one. And then we've got the 80s Action Hero, which is actually the worst class in the entire game because it's super weird to handle, and the only thing that makes it cool is one power up where he turns into a big, well, he not turns into it, but he rides a big rocket and you can kind of kill stuff with that. That's basically it. The character itself is pretty much ass to play, so yeah. Honestly, it's an okay game. It's got some cool elements. For example, the Battle Arena, probably the best mode that's ever been done in this game. It's basically like Halo 5's Breakout, you know, like the Breakout mode, but even kind of cooler because you play Plants vs Zombies, which is automatically cooler than Halo 5. So yeah, that's I guess that gives it at least of a point. But most people, I would have I have said that this is the worst game in the franchise, and I can't really blame them. It's just a very barren game. The maps are not interesting. There's no cool stuff like on the side of content and stuff. It's just not that interesting to play. It's just more of a fun side distraction. For the first game, at least, you could say that you can have some long time to play, getting all the characters leveled up and stuff, and you can have that here as well, but it's just very boring. So I would still rank it better than the first game, but it's definitely much worse than the second one. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. This was a weird video for me to make, but I saw that I could just do something in between. So yeah, like and subscribe, share the video, and love you.